Boom. AOA podcast back live. Frankie C's in the house. What up, big dog?
What's happened? Another little vacation. What's going on with this show?
I know. We take more time off than Congress.
Oh, hi-oh.
We're talking about on this episode, cop caught cheating in this viral video. I'm quickly becoming obsessed with this guy. This guy.
What the cojones, man.
Hunter Biden is going to be indicted before the end of the month. That is a fact. Elon Musk fathered an employee's twins. We have to talk about the Delta diarrhea plane. I'm sorry.
You can't not talk about that.
I mean, I know it might be a couple days old to some people, but that's just a great topic. Frank's Boston trip rounds out our episode. Plus, we have some bonus topics.
Bonus. Ooh, look at those.
Flashing on the screen very quickly. Stick around to the end to hear those. That, my friends, is a podcast episode. I feel like I sounded.
Podcast. What?
I feel like I sounded better before the actual show started. I don't know what it is.
You haven't sounded good in 2 months.
Yeah. Hey, here's hoping for October, though. Okay.
Yeah. I can't believe it's freaking September already.
I know.
August flu. I'm sorry. August flu.
By the way, just credit to me for a second for not letting my neuroses get to me after, I would say, 3 out of every 4 comments in the comment section is, that's what happens when you get the jab, Ant. Look at what you're dealing with now.
Yeah, it gives you a sore throat. Everything that goes wrong. See, you got into a car wreck. That's what happens when you get the jab.
Yeah. So I've been, and I haven't let that get to me too much that I'm like panicking.
Doesn't sound like it. Sounds like it's getting to you a little bit. Or
I did mention it.
Up.
Did mention it right at the start of the show.
All right.
Good point, Frank.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to this video. Saw this video, kind of a slow video. Didn't really think too much about it. Then, God bless the TikTok algorithm, because it came around on my feed again, and I happened to watch it again, and it's rather brilliant. This cop is seen outside of his squad car.
Do we know where this is?
Maryland.
Okay.
Maryland cop. His name is Francisco Marlette.
Francisco. That's fun to say.
Francisco. You're so pretty. Your face should be on a Christmas card. I can't wait till it's elf time again.
We're almost there, baby.
I know. On. So close.
My tree's still up from last year. That is true.
Is that right?
It's in the basement, but it's up. It's not down.
Let me tell you something. My wife has been watching Christmas TikToks since after 4th of July. I think 4th of July is her Black Friday for most other people.
Oh, you know what it is? It's been 4,000 degrees every other day, and we're ready for some. We're ready. We're just ready for the holiday. Let's go.
Tell me about it. Anyway, so Francisco Marlette was seen outside of his squad car. He is kissing this young lady, bent over, kissing big dude,
big guy,
total cop, like central casting cop,
right.
Bent over a little girl, not little girl, but small adult,
right.
And they're kissing in front of the squad car. They casually walk to the back, like really slow. Open the back seat of the car. They both get into the back seat of the squad car. And then, bless this original person, which I'm going to credit them in a second for putting the viral video up at first. You can see the squad car rocking.
The quintessential rocking that comes with being in the backseat of a car. So this guy, I mean, broad daylight too. It's not like
broad daylight,
like in the middle of. They didn't even. It didn't look like they were hidden anywhere either. They were just in the middle of everything. Doesn't look like they pulled into like a back alley or down a road that's not. It's just like it's out in the middle of the daytime. And just this, I don't know who caught the video, who's recording it.
I got the name here. I got to find it. It's in my notes. You want to hear the worst part?
Oh, okay.
Supposedly, this is across the street from a park. Oh. And the young lady's son was playing in the park.
Come on.
That is according to one story that I read. Now I don't
All right,
know.
we don't know if that's. We have to fact check that. Can we fact? We fact that we can't fact that. We're not gonna.
We can't really fact check much.
No, we cannot
But
fact check that. Anyway.
that is what one report was, is that it was near a park. Her kids were playing in the park while she was playing hide the
Allegedly.
handcuffs in the back of the squad car.
Allegedly.
I mean, you don't need that nugget of the story for it to be horrific.
It adds to it. It's a little sprinkling of Christmas cheer on the end of that one.
It's a sprinkling of, you got to be kidding me, really?
Yeah. I mean, hopefully the kid was with other parents or friends that, because I don't think this woman had her eye on the kid the whole time.
Yeah, clearly she did not. Yeah. I would assume so.
Man.
I would assume so, but it is allegedly not the first time, because what happened is this, it's weird. I'm so jaded. Like, I saw that and I was kind of like, okay. Like, I didn't know the whole full story around it. It's taken the virality to take off for everybody to start getting involved and story. Cause I just assumed there's a cop getting some. I didn't know he was cheating, on his wife.
Right.
But he was, and cause she took to the internet, his wife, Paula, and was like, you can keep him. Oh, here's what she wrote. There goes my husband and his mistress. This is a very tough time for me and my kids, explaining that the video kept popping up on her social media feeds. She called the whole thing a fiasco, embarrassing, and painful. Yes, I know what's been going on, she wrote, and identified the woman in the video the woman in the video with her husband was named Virginia Pinto.
Okay.
Virginia's husband left her a long time ago because she cheated. So she and my husband decided to do this behind my back for years. She said, I love you all except for Virginia. You can rot in hell, bitch.
Nice.
Yeah.
So who took this video? Was it like a private eye or something? Or
that's a great question. I think it was just a passerby. I mean, but don't you have a hard time believing that?
Which part?
That this is just a random person that didn't know the cop or the woman, or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, well, it could have been a random person only because, like, the video, from what I understand, I didn't see the whole thing, but it starts with them making out, right? Like, the video starts, they're already making out. So the person passing by, the passerby, whatever, probably saw a cop making out with someone and just like, oh, look at this. And then they get into the car. It's like, holy shit. But then what? How did the wife find out? Did she just happen to run into it online? Or was the person know the cop's wife,
She, as the story goes, she ran into it online.
She just found it. Imagine scrolling through your TikToks or whatever. You just run into this video of your husband. What the hell?
Could you imagine? I'm terrified that's how my wife is going to find out. She's not listening.
I'd be as shocked as everyone.
She, you know how I can tell she's not listening? You'd have seen something come flying across the screen. She would have definitely thrown something.
Hi to everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining us. You got Will, Robin, Miss Justice, Mercury, Mojo, Diane, Rob Rush in the chat. It's happening. Victoria.
Get out. Rob Rush is in the chat.
Rob Rush is in the chat. Very top.
That guy.
Yeah. Paul, you guys are awesome. Thanks for joining us. So this guy, so I'm sure he got suspended, right? From what I understand, the cop.
Yeah, he got suspended, which seems like a weird thing to do because I guess it's not. I don't think he got suspended for cheating on his wife, but you're not really protecting and serving while you're penetrating and rubbing.
Maybe he was protecting.
Maybe he was. Maybe he was.
They were probably in there just like, we're playing Rock'em Sock'em Roll. We don't know what they were doing in there. The van was rocking. That's all we know. So
I don't know how true the story is that the young lady's kids were at the park, but there was a park, and ABC 7 News confirmed that you can hear children playing in the distance. And in fact, a couple of kids running between the camera person and the cop car. I mean, how fucking stupid can you be that I'll tell you the part that got me, Frank. The slow saunter from the front of the car after the kiss to the back seat of the car when they got into the back. Like,
Who led the way? Like, did she like lead him in, or did he like lead her to the back?
she did. She led him.
All right.
Yeah, she led him. And I mean, it was a saunter is the word to use, my friend.
A saunter. Did they even look around, or they just was like, "Fuck it"?
Not really. No, not
That
really.
makes it any better. I'm just saying, if you're on the topic of how stupid could someone be, I guess they can be very stupid.
I mean, and then the other thing is, we've talked about this too. When that girl disappeared, how they found fucking the video of her. Remember, everything is being videoed. There's somebody videoing at every
cameras
moment.
everywhere. Like you find money in the street and you want to keep it. I'm telling you, you're gonna get there's ring cams, there's traffic cameras, there's cameras everywhere. You're not gonna get away with anything.
I mean, it's just it's 1984. It's George Orwell had it right, or Orson Welles. I don't know. I can't remember.
What the hell are you talking about?
And the guy who wrote 1984 is either Orson Welles or George Orwell, or George Orwell's is in Wells.
It's probably that one.
Anyway, so he's suspended. What's amazing is after and then the wife wrote that whole thing, and then she put a bit of video out of her own and did all this crazy stuff. They were photographed today going into their house together. He was carrying their child together, walking back into the house. The husband and the wife, yeah.
Well, I guess they still have to raise their kids or whatever. I mean, they're connected that way for. Even if they don't stay together, they still have two kids. 2, 3. How many kids? Do we know?
Looks like 3.
3 kids together.
3 kids.
So they're, no matter how it goes forward, they have to be a mother and father to those kids.
Fucking brutal, man.
Yeah.
That's for brutal.
Years.
Years. Yeah, years. Cops.
Here it is.
I'm just saying. I didn't come up with that stereotype on my own. I happen to hear it from somebody who may or may not be a cop himself.
Sure.
That's a brutal way to find out about it, though. Your shit going viral, like you said. You're on TikTok, because when you hit TikTok or Instagram Reels, those are usually your happy. I'm winding down from the day. I'm gonna take 20 minutes myself and just
watch
lose
some people
myself.
be idiots.
Yeah, and then you're like, well, that cop car looks familiar.
Yeah, that guy. What? Wait a minute.
Oh no, he's bald, like my husband.
Oh shit.
Fucking shit.
That
Unbelievable.
I can't imagine the reaction right after that. What do you do? Who do you call if you're the wife? Like, what? You just you call the husband right away and be like, I'm on TikTok and guess what I find?
I guess so, right? Yeah, that's awkward.
Yeah,
that is awkward.
Very awkward.
I mean, she took to its social media too, which I wouldn't do. I mean, I know you feel like you're saving face there, but you're really not.
I mean, probably the best thing to do would be to like just let it disappear, let it pass, and just deal with it internally between you and the people involved.
I think she should be able to take his gun and shoot him in the penis, and I don't think she should get any jail time for it. That's what I think.
Penis shot, yeah.
That's a fair.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
If you're a cop, if you're a fireman, different story. Then you get the whole
turn the hose on you,
or the hose.
Axe?
I was thinking axe, but hose probably a little.
Axe to the wiener.
You're a lot nicer than I am.
No, axe. That's fine.
Because it's one thing to sneak around and be at somebody's house or whatever. But like you said, in broad daylight, in the fucking cop car, at a park where there's just moms and grandmas and people just hanging around with the kids, and everybody's got a phone. Like, what do you think is going to happen?
I wouldn't be surprised if that body cam footage ends up on OnlyFans.
Good call. Where's the body cam footage? I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, do you deactivate that? How do you put a little Post-it over that? What do you do?
Put a Post-it note.
Cover that up, a little magic marker.
Officer Smith, we noticed your body cam footage was mostly a hot orange for 27 and a half minutes the other day.
That's the Canadian wildfire. I don't know what to tell you. It just rolled in unexpectedly and everything was orange.
Everything was orange. Good cover up, Frank. Good callback.
Thank you.
All right, Hunter Biden's going to get indicted before the end of the month.
Indicted.
Yes. He is facing new federal grand jury indictments relating to his gun charges. Remember, he had the whole thing where he filed for a gun, to buy a gun. They always ask you, hey, are you a drug addict? Or Hunter Biden, and he checked no for both. Can't do. Then we got the laptop with all the footage and everything that shows that he's clearly a drug addict.
So he's going to be indicted on gun charges. So it's
and it's
the thing.
It's actually the Speedy Trial Act, which requires that the government obtain the return of an indictment by a grand jury by a certain amount of time, which is Friday, September 29th in this particular case. So the government intends to seek the return of an indictment in this case before that date. This, according to special counsel David Weiss, who filed this document in U.S. District Court in Delaware just today, which was a response to a filing on August 31st by an oral order of the court for the Justice Department and Biden's lawyers to provide it with a status update on the case. So they asked for a status update, and according to the Speedy Trial Act, they have to file something. And so they did. He will be indicted by the end of the month. Lawyers for Hunter Biden shortly after indicated that the 53-year-old has been following the conditions of a diversion agreement, which previously was reached for federal prosecutors to avoid the felony gun charge. Saying, quote, Mr. Biden has been following and will continue to follow the conditions of that agreement, which the U.S. Attorney's Office agreed and signed and informed the court of on July 20th, 2023, and that the probation office had agreed to that recommendation to be put in effect, according to the attorney's filing. But under the diversion agreement, Biden would have to remain sober, submit to drug testing, avoid committing other crimes for 2 years, and agree not to own a firearm again. Those seem like tough things for Hunter Biden to do.
Well, we'll see. I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is. What could he get? Like, what's the punishment if he's found guilty?
Biden would have to serve 2 years probation for 2 tax misdemeanors and enter a diversion program for the gun charge under the terms of that was under the terms of the deal that they were talking about, but that was the deal that subsequently fell apart. Even though Hunter's team is still saying that agreement still remains in force for the gun charge. I don't know if it does or not. That's the argument that they're making. We know it's fallen apart for the tax evasion charge. So that is definitely part of it. For the let me see here. Essentially, the parties have agreed. It doesn't say what he could get for the gun charge.
I mean, I feel like Republicans were going after Hunter Biden for all this shit, and I feel like slap on the wrist, like, okay, that's I don't know what he's gonna get or what he's gonna go through or what he have to do. Doesn't seem like much.
Would you like to know my take on this?
Yeah.
He deserves jail time. And if I was Joe Biden, I would set him up for jail time because you don't want this motherfucker running loose during an election.
True, but
you know what I'm saying? He's less damage to the Democratic Party behind bars.
Probably true. But if you're Joe Biden, in reality, you can't interfere with the Justice Department.
Correct. He cannot.
Tell that to former presidents. They don't get the message. I'm just saying. So, all right. So Republicans went after Hunter. They're getting him indicted. Fine. If he does, broke the law, then he should be. Then
he should go to prison. It's the year
of whatever the punishment is.
Yeah, whatever it is. It's the year of the indictment. Like, I mean, between Trump's indictments, now the first son's indictment, like, we are just indicting it up around here. We're having a good old time throwing indictments around.
And not to mention, I said this on the beginning of the show that, before the show started, I was like, look at this list. You got Hunter Biden to be indicted, but you don't have today a big, breaking story is Donald Trump was found liable in the defamation case for Eugene Carroll. So after he lost the he lost the case that Eugene Carroll brought up about being sexually assaulted, so he was found liable for that. And then after that, he went on whatever social media, badmouthed her and said all this stuff. She sued him again, and then he was found liable for that.
So she's won 2 against him.
2. Yep,
that's
right
amazing.
In a row.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I don't know what I'm trying to find what the penalty, monetary damages for defaming her. Is going to have to pay monetary damages for defaming her. So that's after he was liable for sexually assaulting her. So
see, I didn't see or hear about that story. That's not something that Tucker and I discussed prior to the show.
You gotta veer away from Fox or Newsmax or whatever the fuck else you're watching. You gotta watch everything. That's all encompassing.
I asked Brian Kilmeade what's in the news today, and he told me everything. He didn't mention that.
Oh, Hunter.
Yeah.
Private citizen, Hunter Biden. We've got to go after him.
Right.
Former President Trump? No, leave him alone. It was fine.
It was a lot of Hunter. He didn't happen to mention much else. So,
yeah.
And what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
That's your whole take on the Trump thing? What are you going to do?
No, good. I don't care. Good for her. I'm happy she won. Fuck him. I don't care. You know me. I'm very verklempt by all these people that care so much about Trump. You should not care this much about any politician. They're only going to let you down.
But the problem, no, when you say care about, there's 2 sides of that coin. There's care about in terms of supporting him, and there's care about in terms of worrying that he's going to become president again.
Well, they're trying to stop that like crazy, Yeah. So
I mean, the 14, if he's, I think, I'm not sure exactly how this plays out, but if he's convicted of with the January 6th stuff, I feel like the 14th Amendment would come into play. 14th Amendment, for those who don't know, states that anybody involved in an insurrection or anything against the government is not eligible to hold any government office.
Right.
So,
which they're already pushing out. Yeah, I've heard that for a month or so at least. They're already trying to.
I mean, how could that? That seems like makes sense. I mean, doesn't that? And he's being indicted for this thing. If he's found guilty, then that should be what happens.
I'm totally fine with it. And my feeling. I would happily give the office of the president of the United States to any Republican besides him. If you said to me, Aunt, could we cancel the election and just pick another Republican so we don't have to live through Trump and or Biden again? And I would sign up for that tomorrow. Whatever we have to do to move past this monstrosity of old manness, I am okay with it. I know you're not, but
you're an old man. It doesn't matter to me if you're old. You got. I don't want to see DeSantis in there. He's a young guy, but he's a piece of shit.
We kind of barely scratched the surface of but he has fallen off the face of the earth since the.
He's not doing well. Trump is the front runner by far for some reason.
I mean, it's not even close.
Facing 72 counts against him, 4 indictments, and it's not stopping. And he's going. And he could. Who knows if he's going to prison or not? And yet he's the front running Republican nominee.
But can I be honest with you? I feel like a lot of that is, excuse me, from polling and everything, that it's easy if you're a conservative or a Republican, and if you are watching or listening, please comment. I would love to know your thoughts on this. But I have nothing to lose and everything to gain by pissing off liberals by going, oh, I'm voting for Trump again. But I feel like those people, when it gets down to it next November, or when it gets down to it for the primary, aren't going to be so Trump leaning. That I could be wrong.
How do you know?
You don't. It is my gut feeling that it is easy now in the summer of 2023 before any primary or general election to be like, yeah, I like that guy, because it's just a fun thing to do. He's a fun and entertaining guy. He's still stirring it up and mixing it up and pissing people off. That's very appealing to his base. But I think when it gets down to it, when everything gets said and done, when you really get down to, okay, now I have to go into a booth and pick which Republican I want to represent me, I'm not sure. Listen,
I hope
he
you're
may
right.
he may still win, but I would guess that even the margin of that lead would plummet.
I hope you're right, because yeah, all fun and games. Everybody, he's a fun. He says crazy, wacky stuff, but in reality, he enacted some bullshit that fucked over a lot of people.
But it's
So
easy now. I mean, even it's a little different because you already have your candidate, right? But even when it's the other way around, in the summertime when there's 19 people trying to become the presidential nominee, you listen to all of them. You look at all of them. You see what all of them are saying. And you kind of go, "Oh, I like this person. I like that person. This person's got a flair." It happened. I mean, how many times does somebody surge in the primaries like crazy, and everybody's
sure.
all caught by them, and then they get completely plastered when it comes time for the actual vote?
Absolutely. Hey, listen, if someone else another Democrat ran against Biden and was better, I'd be like, yeah, let's go with that guy. I don't. It doesn't have to be Biden. It just whenever you look at most Republicans, it's like, do you believe in climate change? No. It's like, well, why?
Dude, if any Democrat ran against Biden, they would be better. I mean, any one of them. You just pick
whatever.
anyone.
It doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter.
Somebody asked Harris today, Kamala Harris, like, would you be ready to take over as president? And she was like, yep. And he was like,
it's supposed to. That's supposed to be here. What is she going to say? No.
Yeah, well, he goes, well, hypothetically, just take me through it. She's like, well, hypothetically, right? But with that first yup was like, oh yeah, you're like, I'm ready.
You got to be confident. If you can't be like, no, I don't know if I can do it. I mean, you want the second in command to be ready to go just in case.
I just feel like that question got asked because Jill's got the new vid. And I'm like, I don't think people think he's going to survive it.
Maybe not. But, what has he... Everybody's like, oh, the economy and the prices are too high. Yeah, they are. But that's the way it is all around the world. He's, he lowered the gas price as much as he could. Everything's trying to come down. Everything's high right now. I get that. But that's what happened after a global pandemic.
Even me.
Inflation goes through the roof. Here. I get that. But I'm not trying to make excuses. He's in charge. Buck stops with him. But it's like that in every country. Everything's up now. That's what it is. It sucks. And it's terrible, but he also tried to give money back to college students, and Republicans shot it down.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we don't have to run through the whole thing.
You know my list. Whatever.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you. I would
he's trying.
I would do anything to get two different people to choose from. Next time around.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Anything. But if I have to choose between Trump facing 72 counts of whatever the fuck and 4 indictments, or Joe Biden, who is 84 years old or whatever, and not really, he's working hard. It's not like he's not doing anything. He's always doing something.
I think he's officially the oldest person to hold the office, right?
Yes.
I
think he was the oldest when he was elected.
Yeah. That's why everybody thinks he's going to just die soon.
It could be. You don't know.
Nobody has a lot of faith. I don't know what the numbers are in Vegas, but I'm going to look after the show, and I just might place a $50 bet. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, whatever you want to do.
November is a ways away. We got what, 14 months? I mean,
something like that.
A lot could happen.
All right. So Elon Musk fathered employee twins. What the hell is this?
So this sounds very scandalous, and I feel like it might still be, but I don't know. We found out today that an employee of Elon Musk's, Siobhan Zillis, who works for his brain chip company, Neuralink.
Brain chip. That sounds good.
He's creating a brain chip. He wants to control people's brains.
Perfect.
No, he wants to help people that are paralyzed.
It's like paralyzed. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So there was a photograph today with Musk sitting on a couch, her there. They have the 2 twins. The photo was taken at Zillis' home in Austin, Texas. It was released by journalist Walter Isaacson, who I think I played in that softball game in the Hamptons with. I feel like Walter Isaacson was one of those people, but I'll have to go double check that. Anyway, so Walter released the photograph and kind of broke the story of Elon fathered these children. Now, according to the company, They said that they used IVF.
Okay.
So that's the
In vitro fertilization.
fertilization. So that there was no romantic or sexual relationship here. He, I guess, just donated and now he's dead. I don't
Well, I guess
really.
he's the genetic father, but he donated to a couple, I guess, or a woman who couldn't get pregnant, maybe.
No, her, the girl.
Right. He donated to her.
Yeah, who works for him.
Works for him. Okay. So, I mean, there was no relationship involved, so I guess it's not scandalous there. It's just, it seems like, if someone came to, it sounds like he donated to someone who couldn't get pregnant or whatever. And
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know. It seems like it's on the up and up, but what the hell do I know?
that's the thing. If they're telling the truth, okay, fine. If not, this is kind of like a weird cover up for like, oh no, it was.
Well, he's married and with a kid of his own, right?
I don't know if he's married anymore.
Yeah.
I think him and Grimes broke up.
Oh, I don't know.
I know he's got a kid with Grimes. He's got a bunch of kids. He's turning into Nick Cannon is what he's turning into. Who's another person who I've had enough with. Because now Nick Cannon's like embracing all the jokes that we've been making about him. And so he's making all these jokes on TikTok and it keeps coming up on my feed and I'm starting to get aggravated. Because it's like funny when we do it. Yeah. You're taking the piss out of it. We want to make fun of you for being a douchebag. You can't make fun of yourself.
Well, he's beating us to the punch. That's it.
It's driving me crazy, Frank.
Christine Coulson said he's single. Musk is single. Well,
yeah, Musk is single. Okay, now here's my other thing.
He fought. I mean, if they did in vitro fertilization, then that seems like a decent thing for someone to do. You donate so that someone could have a kid. I get that.
All right, but let me ask you this.
It's weird that it's your employer, though.
Okay, let me defend that. Let me go back. I'm going to contradict what I'm about to say.
Good.
If you had access to Elon Musk, though, wouldn't you want your kids to be that fucking crazy smart? I mean, that's a pretty good gene pool to be dipping into, not for nothing.
Is he really that smart, or is he just rich?
Well,
here's the genius level.
No, I think I feel like he's pretty fucking smart. I mean, even if listen, and I know people will say the same thing. He stole Tesla and he took this idea. Listen,
he bought it when it was developed already or something. Like, I don't know how much of the technology came from his brain or if he just had the idea and a bunch of his employees and scientists came up with it. Like, is he the mastermind or is he just the pocketbook?
I don't know. I don't know how much of the mastermind he is, but there's something to be said for the person that goes, that's a great idea over there, and I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to foster it. All right, so
he's a smart investor. He's a smart businessman.
Maybe, and he rolled his money from PayPal, which again, I don't know how much of that he really intellectually created, but at least he was there enough to realize, oh, paying for shit over the internet, I need to be involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you can get that lucky that many times to just be like, it's just luck. Like, at some point you have to be like, oh no, this guy spends a lot of time trying to make the world better in his eyes. You know, could be dumb things like the Boring Company and the tunnel digging and the Mars, shit. But look, he's doing it. He's getting money for it. You know, he's out there doing more than 99% of us are contributing to society. You know what I mean?
I get that, but that's because he has the ability to do that. Like, he has the billions of dollars to do that.
But it's not like he inherited it. He went out.
No, I
made it happen.
I get that. I feel like there are things he can solve in a second if he wanted to, though. Like, if he took $1 billion and said no more homeless people, he could probably fix, or everybody has food now. You
could say that forever. I was just saying that about
any billionaire, any
Oprah
billionaire.
The other day in the Maui thing, her asking people for money when she got $3.5 billion in the bank.
You know, I'm just saying.
The interest on that alone for a year could fucking pay for everything that they need in Maui, and she's out there asking us to fucking help. Stupid ass.
this is what I'm saying. You know, he's got 200 and something $billion. Take 2 billion and solve a big problem somewhere. You know, like
He did buy Twitter. He did save Twitter from the liberals.
all right. Well, all right, then I'll give you that.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think if you have a shot at that brain as a female, you take it. But here's my other thing. And I know she's the fucking vice president of whatever the fuck, and so she's probably making huge money. So IVF treatment, probably no skin off her ass to go and pay for that. But if you want Elon to father your children, why don't you just have a couple of drinks one night?
Yeah, but then he's probably tied you as the caregiver, and now you could probably get money from him. And so if you're just donating your sperm to as a donor, you're probably not liable as the father. You know what I mean?
You think that's it? You think he was worried about that? And you think he said,
I don't know. Unless she just didn't, unless she's not interested in anything like that, and she just needed a donor, and was really maybe close friends with him, and said,
maybe.
I like to err on this side of, give benefit of the doubt.
Maybe.
I like Robin's calling it Twix instead of Twitter or X. That's funny.
I do like that. Twix is pretty funny. I give her the benefit of that. Maybe she does have some complications, and this is the only way she could get pregnant. Like, all that could be possible and true. I just feel like he's single. You're single. Let's have a couple drinks, do it the old-fashioned way. We had to go crazy
maybe
for.
Maybe they're not into each other. What do you want?
Maybe that is the case. I don't know. It's still pretty awkward, though. I mean, I would have no problem donating to help somebody out. It would be weird, though, if I knew them. I feel like if a perfect stranger needed it, okay, fine. I'm happy to help. We need more of Anthony around the world anyway, is what I feel.
So what if, you don't know this perfect stranger? What if this perfect stranger is a nut job, and now this nut job is raising a kid that you helped, and now the kid's fucked up. I
don't know.
I know the person, it might be better. This way, that at least that the kid is okay and being taken care of.
I wouldn't really think of it's weird to say.
You would detach yourself from it completely.
Because I think the system's built that way, right? It's anonymity. They don't,
I guess,
let you know, so you don't ever have to wonder or know.
Yeah, but then probably down the line, the kid might want to go. Oh, I want to meet the
yeah,
the real. Who knows? I don't know. Anything could happen. And then there's also genetic stuff. Do they have to worry about this? Do they have to worry about that? Who knows?
I have phenomenal genetics. I mean, aside from the fact that I ruined most of them with the jab, but other than that, I'm pretty phenomenal.
The chips that are in the jab will take care of anything. That. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Don't control all of that. You're fine.
So, I mean, if that feels a little weird to me, the fact that they're coworkers and everything, I get it. That's I guess the question. Normally, I would say if you need some semen or an egg or whatever, going to your boss, probably a stupid thing. And I would say, no, don't ever do it to somebody that you know. But when it's somebody of prominence who brings a lot to the table, kind of makes me think about it.
I mean, if it's somebody, it doesn't have to be a billionaire who runs everything, but if it's could be a professor
it could be Robin Williams in fucking Good Will Hunting. He was kind of a genius, nice guy, sweetheart, smart, all that shit. Could be that.
Could be.
You take a shot at that, maybe.
So there's no real. I mean, there's no scandal here or anything. I mean, unless it's employee-employer, but there's nothing sexual about that. It's just two people.
Not really, but then
person out.
You're right. But then at the same time, it's like, here they are pictured in the living room and he's like holding the kids. And so it's like,
is there a conflict of interest there? Because now, does this person get preferential treatment? Does this person get a raise? Does this, this is Elon's technically his DNA, his kid, even though he might not be responsible for raising the kid, he's not going to be the father. Does he treat her differently?
It's kind of tough. Yeah.
That's where it gets muddy with the employee-employer thing going on.
Big time. Because then you're like, can I fire this VP because she's got my kid? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, and that's the thing too. Even like, let's say there was some sort of agreement where he's like, I just got to give you this, and I am under no obligation. Well, if she loses the job and you know those are your children and you have billions of dollars in the bank and they need help, you're not
exactly.
gonna wind up supporting them. Like, it doesn't
Exactly.
make like there's no way that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I
Let
feel
me tell you
like
something.
it's more of an entanglement than they realize, maybe.
That's an awkward situation for everybody too, because I was in a work situation once where the boss was dating somebody or brought somebody on who worked at the place. And they came, I had my little thing that I did at this company. And they came into my house and started going, this is not how you should be doing this and all that, with no background or experience in that whatsoever. And so we started butting heads. And I felt like I couldn't even, and I said this to my boss at the time. I'm like, I lose either way here. I can't,
Right.
you know, I can't expect you to take my side. Like, I mean,
Yeah, you're stuck. You don't. There's no right decision. You have to do what they say, or if you don't, you're just.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. That's why there are these rules between employer and employees. There's no, you can be friendly and maybe grab a beer, but you can't intertwine and all that stuff, and
Makes
it's
it
a
tough for
weird
everybody.
dynamic. It's a weird dynamic.
Agreed.
Speaking of
That's
weird
why I plan on
dynamics, what do you-
breaking up with the exec producer of this podcast, so it's
Oh,
less
that's
awkward
not-
for you guys.
That's not right, but we appreciate it. Thank you.
The Delta Diarrhea plane, dude.
This is when I heard this, I thought, all right, I only heard the fact that someone had diarrhea on a plane and they had to land. And the pilot called it, I forget what the phrasing was. It was like a toxic or whatever it was,
Yeah.
a problem, so they had to return to the terminal. Then then I saw another story where it was like where they said that the person sprayed it everywhere. This is what I heard. And then I went, because I was thinking, all right, the person had diarrhea. What can you do? As long, why would that cause the plane to turn around? But this, I mean, like, did they not make it to the bathroom in time? What happened here?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And I'll put the story in the comments for everybody to share. But there was also the video of the aftermath was put online, and it's like, it is unfucking believable. I mean, it really is. Like, that's exactly what Frank said. I heard it the same way. You hear somebody had diarrhea on a plane. The plane had to turn. They get left from Jersey and it was going to France or some shit, or Brussels or whatever. And they literally turned around halfway through a transatlantic flight because somebody got a poopy stomach on the plane. But when you look at the video, I guess this person was trying to make it to the bathroom and just started explosive diarrhea. And it is all like the video that you see afterwards is just all over. I mean, it's for aisles and rows and rows and rows
Dude.
and rows that you're like, how much like In-N-Out burger did this person eat that they exploded all over a plane? And so bad that they had to turn the fucking thing around.
Not only that, were their pants down already? I mean, how did it get all over the plane? Like, I don't understand. I mean, I guess through the leg, but maybe they were wearing shorts. But what the hell? How does that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the person's situation. Maybe there was an elderly person, couldn't control. But if I think that that's going to happen, at the very least, close up the leg holes of your pants. Don't try not to, plug it up a little bit, maybe so it doesn't go shooting out. Again, this person it could have been some medical thing or an elderly person or something. Who the hell knew? I think that plane's a total wash, though. You can't I would never be comfortable on that plane again.
You got to
throw
burn
the
that
whole
plane.
You throw the whole plane out.
You got to burn it.
You dump it in a river somewhere.
Agreed.
New planes, getting all new planes now. There's no cleaning this out.
I mean, it's just like it goes on for rows and rows. I'll put the video. I put the video in
How
the.
graphic is this video? I mean, what do they show it all over the place?
I mean, it's not.
I don't think I'm gonna watch the video. So is it like is it on the floor or is it like on the seats?
It's on the floor.
Okay.
It's down the aisle.
Okay.
It's worse in some areas than it is in others, but it's amazing how far it carries through for. I mean, it really is amazing.
Oh my God. What do you do? Imagine you're all right. I wonder how far the plane got before this happened.
Oh, I think they were in the air for like an hour or so.
Oh, then it's an hour back with it
So
on the floor.
yeah.
And
Got a ways to
everybody
go.
just fucking living with it. You're just there, and there's nothing you could do.
There's nothing you could do.
That is terrible.
What do you do? I mean,
You just got to sit there and just breathe normally somehow. Oh, God.
yeah. Sorry, it was from Atlanta and it was going overseas. Let me see here. Delta told CNN that the flight was delayed just over 8 hours, but landed in Barcelona without further incident. Our teams worked quick. Oh, so they did fly on the plane.
They made it all the way to Barcelona. I thought they had to turn around.
No, it did turn around, but that was the delay. It was 8 hours altogether delay. They went back. They cleaned it up and everything, and they went on their merry way.
So how do you? Okay, so the plane lands, and now everybody has to get off the plane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would climb over the seats. I wouldn't walk up that aisle.
I know, right?
You got to walk through that.
Could you imagine?
I'm picturing just a slime trail from front to back in the middle of this plane.
Which is also the crazy thing about diarrhea too. Like, not to be too disgusting here and break this down, but I feel like this is our duty to color commentate here.
Duty.
Like a lot of times with diarrhea, it's fairly explosive. So you would think it would just come out and it'd be in one spot and you're done with it. I mean, this was slowly kind of tripling out.
It's explosive, but if you've got a full tank, you can go for a little bit. It's not all going to come out in one shot. It's it could come out like you're pouring gravy over Thanksgiving dinner.
Which is also amazing too, because I don't know about you, but when I fly, everything seizes up. Nothing really moves,
Yeah, I agree. But what did they serve on that plane? Or I'm sure this person had a problem maybe before they got on the plane, and who knows?
Probably. You got to be careful with that airport cafeteria food that you get right before you get on the plane. Some of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I went. Actually, was it Atlanta? It was either Atlanta or I think it was Atlanta. The flight was delayed, so I sat there was a bar with the food and everything. I sat there, I ate, and everything was fine. So, this person must have had some kind of issue medically or whatever was going on. They ate something wrong, and then suddenly their cabin pressure changed, and off they go.
Okay, it forced the flight back to Atlanta 2 hours into the flight to Spain.
2 hours. So then it's 2 hours back.
2 hours back with the diarrhea smell.
Oh.
To sit at an airport bar and eat, maybe not that risky. I think where we get risky and you start to take chances, and we just did this on our flight back from Florida, is when the airport or the airlines try and have upscale food. For instance,
on the plane.
On the plane, or even before the plane, sometimes people get a little nutty with some of the food. They go like, all right, here's on the side, for instance. We go to Panera this weekend because it was my son's birthday, and that's like his favorite place to get the mac and cheese.
Nice.
And we walk into Panera, and what are they touting but the lobster roll? Now, I'm sorry, but there's no way Panera.
You think it's fresh lobster?
No.
You think they're thawing that out before it goes on your roll.
I mean, I think they're buying the one-legged, four-eyed next to the Simpsons fucking, nuclear power plant lobster that
Could be.
they pull a little bit of meat out and they sell it for
Yeah.
90 cents. And
I don't think there's a lobster tank in the back of Panera Bread.
no. From a place that prepares their food by, step one in the recipe is rip the bag open, pour bag into hot thing. I don't think that that's a fresh lobster roll. I'm sorry.
But I have to say, Panera, I've never had anything questionable. I haven't eaten there often. It's been a little while since I have eaten there, but my experience has been okay. The food's been not questionable.
I'm not going to lie to you. So the Panera that we go to, this particular Panera is 4 stores away from one of the best Jewish delis like on the planet. I mean, we don't have a lot. So like we covet this Jewish deli, like pastrami, like
Is it Ben's?
Zons, close.
Okay.
It's just like Ben's though. I mean, it's every Jewish deli, You walk in there, the person at the counter is fucking annoyed. There's 14 people behind the counter just there to cut fucking pastrami.
They don't stop.
Yeah, they're there to make pastrami and knish, and that's fucking it. And it's great. So we're walking into the place and I'm kind of annoyed because I'm like, I can't believe I'm wasting a meal on Panera. Like I even said to my wife jokingly, but kind of hoping that she would be like, oh, let's do that. I said to her, let's get Panera and then let's go to Zons and get Zons and then we'll go eat at a picnic table or something. It's a nice day out. But anyway, I begrudgingly went into Panera and I forgot what I don't know what it's called. It's a new sandwich where it's chicken, fresh mozzarella, the kind that my grandmother was making in the kitchen in fucking Mulberry Street. And some pesto bullshit, tomato, whatever it was. I'm like, I guess I'll just have that. I hate to say it. It was not horrible. It was
they
fairly
okay
decent.
over there. Yeah, the food.
Yeah.
I never had a problem. I like the soups that they have, like the chicken and not chicken. The broccoli and cheddar soups. They're always good. And the sandwiches are good. My only complaint with the sandwiches is they don't put enough of the meat on. You get a lot of the other stuff.
Yeah.
Lettuce, tomato, whatever else is on the sandwich, but I could use a little more meat. Like if I go to a regular, just a deli, the meat usually they stack it,
Yeah.
But in a Panera, they kind of skimp on the meat a little bit.
Yeah, but the other thing too with Panera is I feel like the bread is fake. I feel like the chicken's fake. I feel like
the bread should be not fake. It's Panera bread.
I know.
They should be known for their bread.
You got to see all the people now that are like, if you eat Subway bread, you're taking your life into your own hands. Like they're like, just don't eat that shit. I can't, I have a hard time eating it.
Play-Doh coming out of the oven. But
especially since
good.
I got the jab. I don't know how the jab's going to react with the fake bread. I don't know what's going to happen to me, so I stay away from it.
Yeah, you become a mutant.
But anyway, so we're on the plane for fucking Frontier, and it's cheap as shit. So they got the little hand things where they charge you for, like they come down the thing and they charge you for a soda or whatever, right? So the woman next to me, she goes, "I'll have the cheese plate," and I was like, "You're risking things, right?" So she orders the cheese plate. She goes to pay, and by the way, it comes in a plastic thing that you don't have to like rip open,
Mm-hmm.
But it looked okay. I don't know. So she goes, "I'll have the cheese plate." So the girl goes to scan the card scanner ain't working. So she keeps trying, and she goes, she's getting annoyed. The flight attendant, she goes, "I'm just gonna give this away for free." And so, yeah, that's because she didn't want. She used the other person's thing that wasn't working. I guess the Wi-Fi in the plane, whatever, wasn't working. Like I told you, on the way there, the fucking plane blew a fuse, and we had to leave in pitch black. So
that is disconcerting.
I'm sitting next to this woman, and my wife and 2 kids are on the other side of the cart in the aisle. I don't think that they know what's going on. They're all, in headphones and whatever. So the woman looks at me and is like, "What do you want?" I go, "I'm on a cheese plate." Fucking ginger ale.
I don't want you to charge me. So
she's like, "Oh, you're taking advantage." I go, "I was dreaming about that cheese plate since I got on this fucking plane."
What is that? Did you survive?
I gave it to my wife. She loves. I couldn't handle it. I would be fucking hacking my brains out. But that was the cheese plate. Oh, CC ate most of it. Yeah, I mean, I think it was okay. They didn't die. They're still here.
Oh, that's good. Test it out on your kids.
But I think that's where you get into trouble because, like, we risked it. I think we were okay. But when you try and do like cheese plates or brie spreads, when you get into fancy food in a quick service
Seafood.
airline, or
Okay, well, here's the thing. Well, it wasn't on an airplane. When I was in Chicago, I think, or, again, same thing. Chicago or Atlanta. I can't remember which one. But the flight was delayed, and I sat down at a bar, and it was a sushi restaurant.
Okay, that's a risk. That's a risk.
I looked around. I saw what everybody was eating. I was like, okay, everything looks okay. I had a sushi plate. I had the seaweed salad. I had a couple of whiskeys, and it was like, this is nice. I'm gonna be nice and toasted for the flight. Got on my flight, and it was a dream. I was fine.
I'm surprised because you don't do well on flights. I thought.
I don't. You're right, but I've gotten better.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, with the food especially. Normally, I don't eat before I get on the day of a flight. I prefer to leave early in the morning, because if I have to leave at like 4 p.m., I can't eat for the whole day because I don't like to have anything in my stomach because I get motion sickness. But recently, I've been able to I'd be able to eat a little closer to the flight. So
got it.
Maybe an hour or two before I could eat something.
Because sushi, I mean, that's something where you get a little. It only takes a little piece that's not so great.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? It was one of those. I was in the mood for it, and I was like, "This is
going down.
This is going to be good."
You have a couple of whiskeys. You start thinking, "Yeah, I could. Yeah,
I
give me the tuna.
Come on, serve it up. More everything." Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Do you know, because of Anthony Bourdain, I still will never eat sushi on a Monday or Tuesday?
That's because they don't get the fish delivery until Wednesday. Is that the thing?
Yeah, he said the fish comes in Wednesday, Thursday for the weekend. You eat it all weekend, you're good to go. You order sushi on a Monday, that is fucking 5-day-old, 6-day-old sushi. That's what Anthony Bourdain said, and I try and stick to that whenever I can. I try and stay away from the sushi on a fucking Tuesday.
Hopefully nowadays maybe they get 2 deliveries a week. That would be good. Yes, Erin not on the trip, on that trip where I had the sushi. She avoided that sushi risk.
She was on the trip or wasn't on the trip?
She was not.
That was the one where you hooked up with the flight attendant in the bathroom, right?
Exactly. Right.
Cheap jokes.
She was very gentle.
I'm not proud of it.
What are you gonna do? It didn't make it on TikTok though, so that's good.
Good for you. Hey, that's an accomplishment these days. Am I right? How was your Boston
that was a business trip? The Boston trip was very nice.
Did you fly?
No, we drove. Me, Erin, and Dexter. We
brought the dog too.
Because we stay at a friend's house that lives up there. And we enjoyed the weekend, all weekend in Boston. It was great. We did a haunted bar or a haunted pub crawl. That was pretty cool. They take you through Boston, like these bars that were built in like 1820 something.
Is that it's all the scary, like they take you through scary places, right?
Yeah, it's not really scary, but it's like...
Wait, is that the one where they take you through the whole aisle that's covered in diarrhea, or is that a different...
You pay extra for that. That wasn't
okay.
That wasn't this trip.
Got it.
Yeah, maybe next time. But we went... it was a haunted pub crawl. They take us to these old places that were built in the early 1800s, and all the framers of the America, all the founding fathers ate in these places.
Can I tell you something?
What?
I got a little bit of a boner. You talking like this to me seems like history and ghost stories and drinking. Like I feel like this was made for me.
Yeah, I mean they take you around to these places and they say, "Oh, this is a lot of the people who planned and the civil who fought in the Civil War, like who were they all kind of Boston, the Tea Party, all this stuff happened here, this place, that place." And we were walking around, and they say, and while this is going on, they're telling you the history, and then they say, then the person who fought for this cause, whatever, they say she still haunts this, or he still haunts that, and they tell you a story. Oh, some people see this what's it called? They see character, not characters, like what's the word? Like the I see a person, what's the word? Like when you see a person, the figure, I guess, of an image of a person, they see or they hear noises, or they see lights going on and off, stuff's moving around. We went on this trip and we saw. Now, I learned my lesson from when we went to Philadelphia. You're supposed to walk around and you take random pictures all around. So you start taking random pictures. Maybe something shows up, maybe it doesn't. But that's what you're supposed to do, from my experience. So walking around, and so we're outside of this historic pub. Now, I took this picture and I immediately looked at it and said, "Holy shit, what the hell is that?"
Again, because this kind of okay. Go
This
ahead.
happened to me in Philadelphia. So now I'm going to show you this picture. So this person right here, the tall person, is there. She looked like a normal person, was standing there. She just happens to be wearing a long gown. Didn't know what this was. I looked at the spot where this person was standing. This was not there.
Get the fuck out of here.
So I'm showing everybody. I'm like, holy shit. What? This looks like a little girl in a dress.
Yeah.
Or something, right? So I'm looking around. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm showing everybody. I'm like, holy shit. I got something here, right? And then I zoom out, and it's my friend putting her I'll cover her face if I can, putting her sweatshirt on, and that's
Is that her sleeve?
That's
or
her.
hand?
That's her hand coming out the sweatshirt. So I'm flipping out. I'm going, oh my God, look at this. I show the tour guide. The tour guide is like, what are you doing? Because I told everybody the story of Philadelphia. Everybody was looking to me like, holy shit, this guy found another one. And I'm showing all these people. The tour guide's like, don't. She was like freaking out. She's like, don't tell me you got another one. Holy shit. So I'm showing everybody. I'm like, what is this? What is this? Everybody's like, oh my God. And because we're still standing there right in front of the pub that when I took that picture. I'm like, look, there's no one there. What's going on? And then I zoom out, and as soon as I realized it, this wave of holy shit came over me. I'm like, oh fuck! I just kind of blew smoke up everybody. Not intentionally. I really thought it was something, but then I started laughing, and everybody's like, what? I'm like, it's my friend with her sweater. It's nothing. I was like, oh my God, it's not everybody. But for a few seconds there, I got everybody's, hopes up, and I kind of.
That's fucking funny.
Everybody was kind of excited, but it turned out obviously to be nothing.
Listen, that was a risk you going because you brought. I really in my heart of hearts felt like you brought that ghost from Philadelphia back into your house.
Maybe stuff goes missing in our house all the time. There's a weird number 13. You know about that? Did we talk about that?
No.
So my basement was redone last summer, all painted, white walls, white ceiling. So going down so I was bringing something down the stairs. I think maybe a chair. Walking down the stairs, and on like the ceiling above the stairs is slanted like the stair. It's a slanted ceiling. And I hit the ceiling with the chair on accident, and I brought the chair down. Then I look at the mark that I left on the ceiling, and it's a red number 13. Now, the thing I was carrying was not red in any way. There's no red paint under the white paint on the ceiling. And for some reason now there's a red number 13 on the ceiling going down my steps.
That is weird.
Yeah, I could show you the picture. It's friggin' weird. I don't know why it's the mark that I scuffed the ceiling came out to look like a 13, but there it is. Let me see if I could freaking find it now.
As you find it, your wife says that you went to go visit the girl that I walked down the aisle with.
Yes, at our wedding, at mine and Erin's wedding, you walked down the aisle with her. She lived.
I was in your wedding?
far as I could remember.
I don't remember
That's what
that.
Erin says anyway. I don't
remember that.
remember you being.
I don't remember any of this.
Where the hell is it?
I feel like Erin's been introducing me to this girl for fucking 14 years. And every time I go, nice to meet you.
You're an ass. So, all right. So here's the mark that this thing made on my ceiling. And it's about maybe the size of a dime.
Oh, you're fucking with me.
I swear to God, this was the mark left on my ceiling after I hit it with a chair. That the chair is white. And under that white, I guess, is wood. The ceiling is white painted, and under that was more white paint. I don't think there's white paint under that. But yeah, that's the friggin' market left.
Do me a favor. You and your wife, and even the dog, check your backs. Check under your feet. Like, just make sure that mark ain't anywhere else. Because if it is,
what the hell? Why would it make a mark that looks like that? What is that? I've never seen a scuff mark that looks like that.
That's fucking strange.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. No, I don't care for that. That's making me. I'm never coming to your house ever again.
Yeah, I don't know. But to be fair, knock on wood, nothing scary has happened. If there's a spirit that wants to live in my house, as long as they don't scare the shit out of me or harm us in any way, what am I gonna do?
I'll tell you, thinking about it, because I've done a couple of those tours. If you tell me there's if you tell me oh, during the Revolutionary War they hung so and so right over there,
yep,
and now people still think that they see them walking the streets, I'm like, holy fuck.
That's what it was. There was one of those stories was a person was hung, and they still see them. There was a story that she told us that a person died and the person who made the casket made it too small. So they sawed her head off, put the head in between her legs, and buried the woman like that in the casket because that's the only way she would fit in the casket. So the ghost that everybody sees is a woman holding her head between her legs and
Jesus,
and walking around. Wouldn't that scare the fuck out of you?
Yes.
Again, if there's a ghost in this house, just don't scare us. Don't scare my wife. Don't scare me. Don't scare my dog. Don't hurt us in any way. And you can hang out. That's fine.
Fuck that.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's crazy strange. We do have to do an episode of all the stuff that goes on in your house, though. Like, your wife is sharing a little bit of it.
Yeah.
The rings keep going missing. Your sunglasses go missing.
A lot of shit goes missing inside. We had the first. All right. So, we did Netflix. We had the DVD plan. This was years ago when we first moved into the house. We had the DVD plan as well. They deliver 1 or 2 DVDs a month. You send them back, whatever. First DVD we got was, I think, Wolfman or something like that. The one with Benicio del Toro. The Wolf or Wolfman, whatever the hell it was. Still haven't watched it. Still haven't seen it to this day because we get the DVD. I think it disappeared. And God knows where. We still haven't found it to this day. We ended up paying for the DVD.
Wait, Raven has a good question that your wife wants an answer to. Have you been living there for 13 years?
Oof.
I think it's close.
Yeah. Well, it's coming up. Our 13th anniversary, my wife and my 13th anniversary is this year, is in October.
Okay.
And we moved into the house shortly after that.
Now I'm uncomfortable with the whole thing.
So yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. That mark freaked us out, and I would paint over it, but
no, don't. You don't want to upset.
What do you do?
You don't want to upset anybody.
Well, what do you do? How do you remove that?
Burn your house down and leave. Move out.
Okay, got it.
Start over. Get it. Claim the insurance.
All right.
You got a lot of apartment buildings nearby. You could live somewhere for 9 months while they rebuild shit. I
don't think our insurance covers ghosts.
Yeah, it should.
It should.
I mean, it really should.
I mean, otherwise, there's no, if you go into a place, you get a creepy. There's nothing like that in here. There's no creepiness other than that.
Well, that sounds awesome. Good beers. Good. Did you have cocktails, drinks? What was the?
We did beers. The first stop we made, the lady was talking about Samuel Adams and all this stuff. So they say Sam Adams haunts this, walks around, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, the first beer we had was a Sam Adams. And after that, I had my usual, what's it called? the orange flavored one. I always forget. Blue Moon.
Yeah.
A couple Blue Moons. But it was nice. We had a nice time. It was a nice night as well, weather-wise. Walked around Boston. It was really cool. Then the next day we had a clam bake, lobsters. It was, it was nice.
Oh, like at the house, or you went somewhere for it?
We went to a friend's house. So it's me and my wife, the friends we stayed with. We went to another person's house, their friend's house, and we were in the yard and we had a bunch of stuff. It was cool. We, hung out there. We went to Cheers again. If I go to Boston, I'm going to Cheers. It's just the way it is. Anybody that goes to Boston with me, just be prepared for a couple hours at Cheers. Got another mug, got a T-shirt, hung out, sat in Norm's seat, which I didn't get to do on my other trip to Cheers because it was always packed. But this time I was able to get into Norm's seat, took some pictures. It was nice.
Nice. Nice.
Good stuff. A lot of good stuff.
Very cool. You got a picture of you in Norm's seat? We put that in the members area. That sounds like a members area thing.
I do have that. And I have, pictures of me and Erin were all around the place. Pictures of me with they have like cardboard cutouts of the characters all over the place. Me with a bunch of them. Lots of the props and paint, so you remember Cheers had all the stuff all over the walls, like a sports bar. So there's a lot of that stuff all around. The moose heads and all
right,
stuff.
send me whatever you want to post. We'll put it in the members area for the members. Give them a little something. I think that'd be nice.
The only thing that, not disappointed, but the only thing that was a little weird was they had a lot of scaffolding out front, so you couldn't really, have the famous front of Cheers with the sign.
Right.
It was all covered up, so you couldn't really take a picture of that.
But you have a picture from a previous.
From the last time, yeah.
Got it.
But a lot of people who were visiting, I guess, for the first time, they couldn't get a picture of that. But otherwise, food was good there. Be surprised. It was very
Your
good.
wife said great fries.
Great fries. We ordered like 2 or 3 baskets of fries when we went to town on these things.
I wish your wife thrilled to go back to Cheers again. Like I can't imagine. Was she thrilled to go back to Cheers again? Because it feels like
She
something
loves
you
it.
do. Does she love it or does she love you? That feels like something you do for your partner. Because
Erin had a great time at Cheers because we went. It was me, Erin, and our 2 friends that we were staying with. We went to Cheers. We hung out, and it's set up just like I told this story. It's set up just like the bar in the show. And the fries were really good. We had a couple drinks, and it was a nice time.
Just tell everybody about the ghost story the night before.
Not at Cheers. We kind of stuck to we didn't really branch out with other people. We didn't do a J Sabs and make strangers as friends.
You didn't make vacation friends?
No.
All right, I got a couple of quick topics. Is that everything for Boston, or is there more?
Pretty much, yeah. Great time overall. Everybody had a good time and happy.
How long did it take you
to drive there?
Yeah,
4.5 hours.
Fuck that.
Yeah, we stopped on the way, got some coffee or whatever.
I gotta tell, I don't know if I could do a 4 or 5 hour drive anymore. I just don't know.
It's not that bad. Once you get going, you're like, 1 hour down, and you count it. 40 miles to the next thing, 50 miles to the next thing.
Going there is never the problem because you're excited about traveling and going and coming back though. Oof.
Yeah, no.
Did you come back on Sunday or Monday?
Came back Monday morning.
Oh, so you probably missed a good amount of traffic.
Yeah, no traffic really, and all good. It's a good time.
I don't know where J Sabs is under the weather.
She is.
But speaking of vacation friends, we saw Vacation Friends 2 over the weekend because it came out on Hulu.
Oh, any good?
Sucks. Not good.
What's Vacation Friends 1? I don't even know.
It's like John Cena. Do you know anybody else in that movie? It's some, I don't know who the black guy is, who it feels like Kevin Hart passed on the role. So they got this guy. His wife, who I feel like I've seen in a couple things maybe. And the blonde, I think she's been in some things too. I don't know.
So it's a bunch of actors.
It's John Cena though, and it's about making them uncomfortably making friends on vacation. The first one was kind of amusing,
But the second one was just rehashing the first shit and kind of just
Yeah, it's terrible. And it had Steve Buscemi in it too. Because like, oh, when you see Steve Buscemi, you're like, oh, this is gonna be good. You added Steve Buscemi, but it was just fucking terrible. It stinks.
Mm.
Can I say this too? I hate to say it. Most of the Adam Sandler movies on Netflix stinks.
It's tough. He doesn't.
We were
He's
watching
50-50, man.
Sandy
I love Adam
Wexler.
Sandler. Yeah.
Now, ugh, not good.
Didn't he just? Adam Sandler just came out with a movie with his family starring in it,
With his
right?
daughters, yeah.
His daughters. Was that any good?
I refused to. We tried Sandy Wexler for whatever reason, and it
I don't
was
even know what that
just god awful. I will say the one that he plays the basketball like scout or whatever, that one was good, but that was like a serious role.
Mm-hmm.
He did one with Chris Rock the week of like a wedding, and that was like okay, but a lot of them that he's come out with, they're just not. They stink.
Yeah, I'll stick with Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison.
Yeah, I love this whole. He's got to deal with Netflix, so he can just write a movie and put it out. He can do whatever he wants. It's creative. There's something to be said though about having to go through the obstacles of making a film with a studio who needs to give approval and all, because they kind of just make sure it's
Kind of reel you in a little and go, all right, this is stupid. Maybe
yeah,
maybe show this to a few people before we greenlight it.
yeah, a little bit of that.
There's no test audiences anymore. They just make it and it's on Netflix.
Yeah, that's it. That's
They used to show shit in theaters for test audiences and rehash stuff, refilm, rewrite an ending or whatever. But now it's just film's done, put it on Netflix.
yeah, like the ones with Jennifer Aniston, where it's like a mystery.
I haven't seen them, but I don't hear good things about them.
Fuck off. People are like, oh, you got to see this movie. I'm like, I don't even know if we got. I'm like, this fucking stinks. This is terrible. Anyway,
man.
Couple of quick hits for you. Banger Hanger.
Banger Hanger.
This new CeeLo Green track that just came out over the weekend.
I'm like, forget you. That one?
Yeah.
I love that one.
It's called I'll Be Around. It's CeeLo Green, I'll Be Around, featuring Timbaland.
Okay.
Now, Timbaland came out with a track with Nelly Furtado and Justin Timberlake.
Right.
Which they were huge, that first song that they had together. I still haven't even listened to that song because I haven't stopped listening to this fucking song, I'll Be Around. It is so fucking catchy. So, Banger Hanger, I'll Be Around, CeeLo Green featuring Timbaland.
I will listen.
It's like a great track. I'm sad that it didn't come out earlier in the summer because I feel like it would have been the track of the summer. It would have been the song of the summer.
Yeah.
It is fucking great.
Is it a good holiday song?
It's great. And I'll tell you what, it plays so well on Netflix because everybody does these, like, there's so much fucking dancing talent on TikTok. It's disgusting. But they all do these like fun little like laid back dances too that I've watched literally 90. And they're a little different, but a lot of them are kind of similar. And I still don't mind because the song is so good. And it's just fun watching people do these like little dance. Like I can't do it. Like this is as much dancing as you're going to get from me.
It's pretty terrible.
This is it.
If these videos are anything like that, I'm out.
But they do, when they dance and they kick, they put their feet up like that. Like that's not easy. It's not an easy move to do. And they're all
Charlie
doing
Chaplin did it. And how many years ago? Come on, the fucking. What was that? Or is that Charlie Chaplin?
I need two rolls and two.
Yeah, exactly.
To do it. Anyway,
but I'm
it's great.
CeeLo
It's great.
Green is back.
Yeah, CeeLo Green comeback. Check it out. It's got.
I'm like forget you.
It's got 7 million streams already, and it just came out this weekend.
All right, I'm in. I'll listen to it right after the show.
Yeah, check it out. That's the Banger Hanger. By the way, I will still put fun tracks like this on our Instagram account because that's, for whatever reason, when you go to share something off of Spotify, it just goes to Instagram, so it just looks nice and everything. So if you ever want song suggestions, make sure you're following the show's account on Instagram, which I don't know what it is. It's on anthonyonair.com. You can find the link there. First day of school for the kids.
Ah, how'd it go?
Third grade for my son, first grade for my daughter. Kind of over it. But
Not even with your daughter, the first grade. That's big.
I got emotional. Here's the thing. My wife put my daughter in these adorable pigtails.
Ah,
And so when I came downstairs and saw her like all done up, like I had a don't tell my wife, but I had to fight back tears a little bit because I was
a
like,
little lunch pail and thermos.
she was
Do they do
dressed.
that anymore?
Yeah, she had the lunchbox, not a thermos, but she had a lunchbox and everything. And
That's
she
adorable.
I don't know. She's just growing up way too fast. My son was going to third grade. He was going to a different school here, like us, where we are. Third grade's a different school. But I just was like, these were such exciting, wonderful moments.
Yeah.
And now I just feel like you got to go and do it. It's a big deal. Like you got to just be there for it and filming it. I feel like I'm just filming. I feel like at this point, I just can't miss a year in the video collage that's going to be put together
For their weddings.
Right. Them like walking on the bus, you know?
It's going to be, you're beautiful.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
beautiful.
Exactly.
Oh, God. I can't.
Yeah.
Kids on the bus.
And you can't have a gap in that. And like, why did your father miss? Oh, he was taking a shit. He was having a, like you can't, you've got to be there at 7:00 in the morning, holding in your morning dump, just fucking filming the whole, going through the motions and everything.
So did you film it on your phone where it will live forever?
Yeah, I do. I used to bring my big camera out and do all the have set up a tripod, and now I just film it on
lights and a fucking catering and
yeah. Just film it on the phone. I feel bad for these bus drivers though. My son's going to a different school than my daughter. Same bus driver. So
really?
he goes, picks up my kid, my son, goes around, goes and does a whole nother route, drops off people at another school, then comes back and got my daughter. He's got to do 3 of these fucking things every morning. That's brutal.
That's a pin. Then the same guy in the afternoon?
Same guy in the afternoon.
That's a day, man.
That's a fucking day and a half.
Yeah.
And all those kids,
Yeah.
they're all holding in their morning dumps. It's not, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. But when I bring it up really though is usually you have that fall feeling. I feel like we had a day of fall last week and now we had a heat advisory today in New York. It doesn't feel like fall at all.
Yeah, and I doubt we haven't had snow in a few years in New York. And I feel like we're going to go another winter without really anything.
Well, and the weird thing is all our big snowstorms the last few times have been in the spring. Like we get nothing in November, December, January. All of a sudden, February, March, April have become the snow fucking months.
Yeah, everything's fucked up, man.
It's really fucked up. It's really fucked up. Last thing, and I am thrilled to share this news with you. I'm more excited about this than when we got married. The announcement of my first child pales in comparison to this. On Monday, Frank, I sat in this house and I canceled cable. Yeah, I mean, thank you.
Yeah, isn't it great? I did the same thing 2 weeks ago. It's a wonderful feeling.
You were my inspiration to find. I'm like, I have to get this into gear. Now, how long did it take you to cancel?
10 minutes. I was on the phone with them.
Okay,
Wasn't bad.
took me 45 minutes to cancel my cable.
That's you got a messed up cable company, whatever the hell you're dealing with. But yeah, 10 minutes.
You weren't canceling Optimum?
No.
Oh,
Verizon.
forget it. We're different. You had a company. I have a shit
You
show
have a
mafia.
guy in a shack.
Yeah, forget it.
But no, it was easy. I was like, hey, I have 3 things. I have cable, I have internet, and I have a landline. I want to cancel the cable and the landline. And they went, okay. And with this deal, we're going to, it knocked $200 off the bill. And then they said, not only that, but when we come by to collect the cable boxes, we're going to upgrade your router so you'll have faster Wi-Fi, internet, all that. And it's going to be a whole new.
They're coming to your home to collect your cable boxes?
They come to collect the cable boxes, and install a new Wi-Fi router thing.
Okay, my guy goes, you need to bring this back to one of our offices in 7 days.
Just put it on the donkey that comes by the house every once every month.
It's unfucking believable.
We used to have to do that 20 years ago, 25 years ago. We used to have to bring the cable box. I remember standing in line when we either moved and we had to change cable companies or something, whatever the hell it was. But we had to return the cable box. And it was literally standing outside a building in line with a bunch of other people holding a cable box and the remote under our arms, me and my brother, and we're just standing there waiting for our turn to dump this fucking cable box.
Yeah.
And sign a thing that we dumped it off on them.
And it shouldn't be that way. You should show up, hand it over, fucking leave. There's no waiting to give somebody back their stuff. Like, when does that ever occur?
Just fucking dump it in, like, even the library. You could just dump it in a box and move on with your life.
Yeah. I can't believe
they're coming to my house in a couple weeks to pick up the boxes and change out the router to a new upgraded router.
Bitch.
Yeah. It's amazing.
I actually recorded the call that I made. That's how I know
45-minute call?
Yeah, that's how I know it was 45 minutes. And I was going to edit it down and put it out. I was so enraged when I got done with it that I was like, I don't know if I could watch this footage over again. And
why were you enraged?
I was just so mad at the whole.
Why did it take that long? We were on hold most of it?
No, I call up. I go, two things. I go, first thing, my internet is terrible. I explained to them what happens on this show. I explained to them the show. I was like, it's kind of an important thing, and I'm losing internet and I'm paying more for the business level internet. Like, that's, it's 200 megabyte, whatever the fuck, and all this shit. I go, it shouldn't be going out like this. The guy goes, it shouldn't be going out like that. You're right. He's like, we're going to get to the bottom of it. Don't worry. I'm here to help you. I said, thank you. His name was Al. He was kind of nice.
Sounds good.
A little. He was, let's go through the whole thing and then you give me your opinion.
Okay.
On Al's performance. So then he goes, what's the second thing? I go, I don't want cable from you anymore. I go, I don't want.
All right. So immediately you come off as a dick.
I go, I don't want cable anymore. I don't think I said from you. I don't want cable anymore. I want to cancel my cable. He goes, okay. He goes, hang on one second. I go, okay. Here I'm typing away. He goes, whatever he said, I have to go back and wait. But it was basically like, good news. I can save you $24 a month if you keep your cable. I go, no. I go, I don't want it anymore. And he goes, why? And I almost said, it's none of your business. I almost said it.
Because go fuck yourself. That's why.
But I go,
they asked me why too. I said, because I don't watch it anymore. That's all.
That's what I said. I go, I don't watch it. Wise asked me for the podcast. I'm thinking, let me sell this guy. It's none of his fucking business. But then I was like, I don't want to get margin. I go, I don't watch it anymore. He's like, okay. And so then he goes through the whole thing. So as my thing comes out now, we're paying like $175 for the cable. And it's another 100 and whatever for the internet, $100 or whatever the fuck it is. So he goes, your internet is going to go up like $25 a month because you're not getting the cable. It's a bundle package. So I go, well, I don't want to pay that. And he's like, that's the rate it's offering me on the computer here. I go, great. I don't really deal with computers. I go, give me the next person, who's next on the totem pole above you. He's like, well, I go, there's somebody above you, report to somebody. That's who I would like to speak to. Because if you can't do anything but talk to the computer, then I want the person that can override the computer. I know they're there. He goes, hold on. I think I sat on hold for 15 minutes. Expecting
sandwich
to get like a
bathroom.
He comes, traditionally, it's not the first time I've ever done this. You get the supervisor.
You go to someone who could say yes. There's always someone above.
That's it.
Who could give you the answer you want.
They don't even come on anymore. They go. He comes back. He goes, I talked to the whatever department, And he goes, your bill's not going to go up. I go, okay, fine, great.
Hey,
15 minutes, I saved like the whatever the fuck it was. Then he tells me the thing that I have isn't even available anymore. So they have to upgrade me to the 300 megabyte, whatever the fuck. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. So I'm getting a faster thing because the old thing that I paid way more for than what most people pay for
it's outdated. It's gone.
is outdated and no longer available.
Right.
So I go, fine. And he's like, so he goes to do the thing, and he's like, we got to give you a new modem. We have to have somebody come out, give you a new modem. I'm like, okay, fine. I go, can I just pick up the modem when I go to bring back the boxes? He goes, yeah, sure. So I go, wait, hang on. I go, if I don't pick up, and he's like, I'll send you instructions on what to do. I go, what happens if I don't pick up the modem there? I'm like, what would happen? He goes, oh, we would send somebody to your house to do it. I'm like, then
just pick up the fucking things while you're here.
Yeah. I go, can I just give it to the fucking? He's like, no, you got to return. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Fucking cheap shit process. Stupid bullshit. But what drove me crazy was while I was on hold for 15 minutes, I had a chance to look up internet rates and all that. Where I live, I literally cannot get internet. They're doing this new thing now where they're sending Wi-Fi internet to a house. Okay. So like your phone is on cellular service, right? You get internet on your phone.
Or it could Wi-Fi it.
Or, well, when you go to Wi-Fi, you're getting it from your home internet, right? Exactly. They have a modem now that picks up a cell signal like your phone does and gives your home internet.
Right.
Sounds a little iffy, like it couldn't do that well. We're all hardwired here because we got to, make sure the whole thing gets out. So I'm a little like whatever on that. But that's my only other option because the shit town where I live in will not let anybody else run cable lines through it except for this one fucking shithole company.
That's because you might as well be in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. That's how far out you are.
It's terrible. But anyway, I'm looking and they're offering 1 gigabyte internet, which is 10 times the 100 mega, I don't know, whatever the fuck it is, for like $60. I go to the guy.
Yeah, give me that.
Give me that. No, that's for new customers. Oh, not for the people who stuck with you for the last
for years,
10 fucking years. We can't get that fucking deal. He's like, after 30 days of disconnection. I go, okay, so you want me to go to another company for 30 days who I may wind up loving and sticking with, and you lose my money forever.
He wants you to have zero connection. He wants you to have no internet for 30 days.
You got to be fucking kidding. Like, at some point, you go, let's give them the introductory rate. He'll stay on board. If he let me have the big thing for $60 a month, I would not have looked at that bill for another 4 years, same as I did the last time, which is why I looked at it just now. You know what I'm saying?
So he didn't give you the rate. He didn't give you the introductory rate. He gave you the you're a loyal customer, I'm going to screw you rate.
Exactly. So I got the same thing I'm paying for now, and they're giving me a higher thing. So now I got a guy coming tomorrow to the house. So hopefully there'll be no more glitching out once Earl gets here to fucking look at the whole system.
Well, I got to tell you, you know how when you go to a doctor, you have a pain somewhere, and you go to the doctor. Of course, the day you go to the doctor, there's no pain. Gone.
Yeah.
That's what's happening tonight. That's what's happening tonight. There hasn't been any glitches tonight.
Dude, he goes, oh, we'll run a test on the thing. I go, believe me, you're not going to find anything. Like, I'm just like, you're not going to fucking.
That's the way it works.
And then as we're exiting the call, because now he's going to put me in touch with the guy who's going to run the tests on the modem. He goes, if you stay with the cable though, and you sign up for our phone service, you'll save like another 35. I go, Al, I don't want anything to do with your company.
I might be saving 35, but I'm spending 150. You know, it's like you might be saying it'll be a little cheaper, but it's going to be, I could save 130, whatever the hell by canceling all of it.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm out of here. I don't want anything to do. And I said, I'm only really sticking with you because the other stuff is kind of iffy. If there was anybody else who provided internet to this area, I would immediately go with them. I would be happy to pay more just because I fucking hate your company so much for how shitty it is. I don't know how they're making money anymore. I literally, Frank, I don't know one person that sits down and goes, I can't wait to turn on cable at the end of a long day and watch some fucking show on not my schedule. I don't know anybody who's doing
not
that.
my schedule. Yeah, it's the truth, because you could easily, there are apps that you could watch live TV, by stream. You could stream it, and it's easy. It's right there, and then you have all these shows you could watch when you want, how you want, commercial free, no, whatever you want. It's
a lot of it is free. So Sunday morning we get some fucking bagels. I like to sit out in the yard. It's what I love to do. Just sit out in the yard early in the morning. It's cool. You look out. It's just nice. For whatever reason, we get swarmed by bees. Like a bee comes in. I kill the bee. Another bee shows up.
Well, that's why you're killing them. They're coming to fuck you up for killing them.
They're
all
connected.
connected.
6 bees. Like I'm throwing family I'm like pushing people into the house because I don't want, like, my daughter's freaking out. Everybody's scared. So we go into the house. So it's like weird. Like if I can't be like with nature, like I want to like watch CBS Sunday Morning. I don't know what it is about CBS Sunday Morning. It's the trumpets. I like the show. I don't know.
It's the trumpets.
But it's like 11 o'clock. The show's over. So I go, let me see if there's a CBS app. Because it's not going to be on demand or like right after. You know what I mean?
So wait, that's cable. So you turn on cable.
No, so I go to my Fire TV and I download the CBS app. And sure as shit, like an hour after the show airs, there's like a West Coast feed of CBS. So I turned it on and we started watching it. I'm like, and I didn't sign in. I didn't like it. Nothing. It was just, here's the thing. I'm like, what am I paying all this fucking money for?
I haven't watched cable. What's the last? I don't even remember the last thing I watched on cable. It's been a long time. I would venture into the. There was a movie that we bought like on Verizon Fios. We bought a movie for like $3, and it's saved like on the box or whatever. I think we watched that once last year. Before that, I can't even remember the last time we watched anything on live TV.
It's totally fucking. I just think, again, like I said,
I'm paying $200 a month for cable. I'm not even watching it.
Nobody is. Nobody is not turning on YouTube or Netflix or Hulu, scrolling on
HBO,
Instagram
anything.
or Facebook or TikTok. Like that's the world now. I don't understand. And they're paying. They're just like, let me raise the rates. And I mean, more people are going to do what we're doing, aren't they? Their time is
going
ticking.
that way. Yeah, it's going that way. They're going to have to put all their eggs in the streaming basket, whatever, Verizon, Comcast, all this stuff. They're going to have to slowly shift all their operations over to the Wi-Fi, internet.
Yeah.
Cable and landline is fading away.
Wrote a great point. Verizon laughed when I said $200 a month was too much for 2 cell phones a month after 15 years. She's right. Guy laughed at me when I asked for a better price. I've been with Comcast now for 6 years, $80 unlimited for phone.
$20 less.
Okay, so here's my conundrum. We're Verizon people. My father he's got like the lifetime Verizon deal. So like we got the whole fucking, but he still pays a crazy amount. Like I see these like Mint Mobile things and all this stuff. And I'm like, they're using Verizon town. Like, what the fuck are we paying all this? Like, everybody used to be like, Verizon's got the best network. When was the last time you made a fucking phone call anywhere? When was the last time you made a communication that you weren't already on somebody's fucking local internet?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't happen anymore.
It's just the way we all shifted. That's it.
I think the cell phone thing is going to be my next little thing of go fuck yourself, because it's like, why pay all that?
Get rid of your cell phone.
I got news for you too. I go 5 blocks away from my house. I'm on Verizon. I lose a signal. I don't know what is happening in my little downtown area where I live, but
You're in the middle of nowhere is the problem.
It's devoid, but it didn't used to be like that. And what
when they show that Verizon map on TV and it's all pink?
Yeah,
your Nevada and your fucking town are the non-pink areas. Yeah.
What kills me the most is during the pandemic when they juiced everybody up because we were home and they knew we would fucking riot, not a problem ever. But nothing.
Yeah.
It was
Why couldn't we juice it? Why just keep juicing it? What's the problem? Yeah.
You want the super duper speed? You got to pay for it. It's a fucking switch in their little office, man. That's all it is. And it's not that you're getting the faster thing. They are keeping you on the slower thing right now. That's what's really happening. Big cable. Bastard.
Big cable.
Pieces of shit.
Sons of bitches.
I hope everybody at the cable company gets.
I remember when we started this story of you canceling cable, you were the happiest you've been since before your wedding, your kids, and now you're like, fucking this fucking bastard son of a bitch. This went downhill.
Well, I mean, when you think about like $175 a month, 12 months, that's a fucking vacation.
That's $3,000 a year. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Just for something you don't use.
Never use.
So now that's money in your pocket now. It's a beautiful thing.
I feel lighter.
Yeah.
I'm happier.
The air smells sweeter.
You guys, my wife,
tastes better.
we fucked for 7 minutes longer than we usually do. That's how good it is.
I don't believe that at all. This story is full of holes.
Maybe it was 4 minutes. I don't know. However long, it was longer than usual. That's for sure.
Way to go! You just start thinking of cable.
That
slows you down a little.
That's it. All right, that's it. That's all I got. You got anything else?
I'm good over here. Glad to be back after a vacation and then another vacation.
Did you book another fucking? When's your next Cheers trip? When is that? When you go?
Cheers. I think we go next year. We'll do another Cheers run next year.
Nice.
Love it.
They're literally going to start to know you by name in that fucking place.
Well, now that Frasier's coming back, Cheers might be swamped again. You never know.
You might be headed for your golden era, my friend. You never know.
Right.
Never know. All right, we'll catch you all next one.
Potato salad. Maybe we should go now.